I am very interested in chess. And when I wanted to play on the computer, my parents suggested that I teach my sister Palace chess instead. When they first said this, I thought this was going to be a piece of cake. No problem, I can teach her. But it turned out to be a lot more complicated than I thought. When I began teaching her, I started teaching her advanced strategies, but she really needed to learn the basics. I found out that teaching requires lots of organization and patience. I've come to realize through this experience with my sister that we are all teachers to each other in everyday life, and that teaching is not limited to a classroom, but is essential for helping each other grow as human beings. I've learned that teaching is not just about having the knowledge about a subject, but it's about the ability to share that knowledge with others. So, how exactly should we teach? Well, in the article, How to Teach Anything to Anyone by author Kevin Daum, he presents many steps in order to teach effectively. One of the main steps is to create a clear curriculum with set goals in order to have a clear path for your student to reach their goal. If you have set goals and specific goals for the student, they will not get off track, and they will have a clear path to their goal. General goals or overall goals gives an overall goal of what you are trying to accomplish with your student. And specific goals are used to reach that general goal. A clear curriculum also takes away all the confusion about what you are trying to learn. Secondly, another tip that Daum presents is to make the material matter. First off, this means that the material needs to be relevant to the subject. It needs to meet the subject. You're not going to talk about math when you're learning about English. But it also means that the material needs to meet the level of the subject, as you're not going to teach a first grader algebra when they haven't learned basic addition. If your material meets the level of your student and meets the subject, then your student will be able to take that material in quickly and progress to the next level. A third approach that Daum presents in his article is to make the material exciting. An exciting material will help the student be excited about learning and motivated to learn. When I tried to teach my sister chess, I was just presenting chess as a boring old thing, and I was trying to force the information into her. This turned out to be a bad idea, as she eventually didn't want to learn from me anymore. Exciting material helps the student engage in the material and want to continue learning. They will reflect back your passion about the subject, and they will become passionate as well. A great way to make the material exciting is through interactive activities and hands-on experiences. You can also connect your experiences about the subject to through real-life connections, like using percentages to show population rise. A fourth tip that Daum gives is to let the students lead the learning. Students will be more inclined to learn if they are given the opportunity to choose what they want to do. I, as a student, would like to pick my own learning styles, and I would like to learn at my own pace. Students learn at different paces. And if a teacher is leading the student throughout the entire way, the student might get left behind or might go too far ahead and not be able to learn as efficiently as possible. Finally, a last tip that Daum gives is don't ever judge your student. There have been many times in my life when I've had experience with baseball coaches where they have been judgmental. Last year, for example, my baseball coach thought I couldn't throw and wouldn't put me in the field. But it turned out that my arm was just hurt, and he didn't get to the real problem and suggest something better. He kept telling me that, you got to figure this out, and he wouldn't even help me. He would just say, you got to figure this out. I feel like judging your student really just brings them down and makes them not motivated to learn. I think that's one of the reasons that my sister ended up not wanting to learn from me. Judging your student also takes away time, your precious time, and instead of teaching your student, you are just trying to bring them down. Students will be turned off because you're simply not being nice to them, and they simply won't want to learn from you. In conclusion, teaching is hard. There have been many experiences in my life where I have been put into the role of teacher, and I found it was much more complicated than I expected. One of them is with my sister Palace, and another one is when I coached T-ball for the kindergartners. Through those experiences, I have learned that teachers need to meet the student's level. They need to understand the student and look through their student's eyes. They also need to not judge the student. They need to have compassion and be patient and allow the student to learn at their own pace. The teachers need to create a clear curriculum and clear lesson plans for the student, which will help them succeed and get on the path to develop the skill. The teachers also need to make the material exciting. They need to engage the student in the material and make it important. And the teachers should also let the students lead. They should have the students be dragging them to learn and not have the teacher drag the student. If the students are dragging, that shows that they are motivated to learn and they are bringing the teacher along with them on the journey. Finally, through these experiences, I have learned that teaching is very difficult, and it is not as easy as many people think it is. And I think that I will try to teach my sister chess again.